Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 9.
Of Genetic Talks. And today we're going to be talking about worthiness, self-destruction, self-sabotage, and how can we grow out of it and actually become the best person that we can be and achieve our goals.
Yeah, so sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Coffee? Yay.
Thank you, as always. Where are the biscuits? Anyway. Hey everyone, welcome to Gen 80 Talks with myself, Hatz, and my wonderful co-host, Anahi.
Hi, thank you. In this podcast, we're going to be tackling different topics that it has to do with life, success, failures, and everything in between. We're going to be talking about relationships, love, family, careers, etc., and all the challenges that we face in this life that we're living. So stay tuned, subscribe, and join the conversation.
Yeah, so sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode.
Hi everyone. So episode 7, we talk a lot about success, burnout, and all the ways that we kind of like sometimes fail in that on our journey. Then on the last episode, we were talking about dreams and purpose and goal setting and all that. And because it's kind of like tied it all together. And today we're going to talk about one thing that gets on the way of us reaching our goal, which is
Sabotage. Self-sabotage. No, it sounds a bit grim. But
it is grim.
I mean, it depends on what you refer to as sabotage. But anything that I guess stops you, or you intentionally do to yourself, whether mentally or
I want to say something. It's not intentionally.
Unintentionally.
So it could be conscious or unconscious.
Conscious, unconscious. Yeah. So you could unconsciously be doing something to yourself to stop you from moving forward.
Yeah.
Like me, for example, I spent the last 2 days eating junk food, which was totally unnecessary, but it was just like, okay, well, I don't care anymore and blah, blah, blah. And what's the point of life and blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, junk food it is. McDonald's.
So, okay, so when
I mean, okay, well, let's not, because maybe McDonald's are watching this. Highly unlikely, but...
It's shared, don't eat it.
Yeah,
the end. That's the PSA of today.
Yeah, it's processed.
Junk food is junk food.
But so I've been I've been on a health drive and I've been working out and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, last week I did nothing. Work was just overwhelming, and I was just obviously like various other issues around. And I was just like, you know what, I don't care anymore. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And I took my focus away from what I was trying to achieve, which was trying to get to a certain level of fitness, blah, blah, blah. And so this 1 week has been like, what am I doing?
It's self-destructive.
Self-destructive.
Yeah, completely, which is self-sabotage.
Yeah.
And so when I start working with my clients and we start working on their goals and stuff, a lot of the times they struggle at the beginning to kind of like put those goals, but finally when they do and we have like a clear sense of where they want to go with my coaching, with my support, they say that the first couple of weeks are good and then they start to slip back into old habits. This makes sense. You need to remember this is where worthiness comes in. When you have been conditioned to believe that you are not worthy of hard work, support, love, belonging, care, etc., the moment that you start to invest in yourself, there's a part of your brain, the reptilian brain, is saying this doesn't feel safe. And because it doesn't feel safe, it's going to try to sabotage yourself back into your old ways because that's what you're supposed to do. So self-sabotage is just one way that we subconsciously keep ourselves in check, keep ourselves protected in a way, because as much as we think that we're scared of failure, the reality is that most of us are scared of success more than we are scared of failure. Most of us are much more worried about what will happen when I reach there than what will happen if I never reach there, So it makes sense. It's one of the reasons why when it comes to weight loss or weight management, whatever you want to call it, the first few weeks you are motivated and driven, and then slowly you start to cheat, in quote unquote, because I don't think that that's necessarily a cheat. That's just basically your reversal to the normal ways you have, So when it comes to self-sabotage, to me, the most important thing is to go deeper. Remember when we did last week the whole 7 layers deep?
Yeah.
Why are you choosing that? I had a client this week telling me I was having a really hard day and I treat myself with this drink that I know is like a one of those Starbucks Frapple mug with all
It was
the
amazing stuff.
shitty ingredients in the world.
No,
And she says,
it's not that bad.
it has all the shitty ingredients in the world. It's one of those that have the pump with the sugar. It's shit. And also, she is lactose intolerant and it has lactose. So she says, I don't know why even I did it because I was already having an upsetting day. And I'm like, exactly. So why is your treat, why is your weekly treat something that puts your health at risk? Because we have a messed up relationship with ourselves and our worthiness. You know, this is how we self-sabotage. How many times you have lost, I don't know, if with weight loss it's super easy, but or you have lost X amount of kilos and then you're like, I'm gonna have a cheat meal, and the cheat meal derails you completely and you end up having like a cheat week and then a cheat month and then you're like, fuck this shit, where am I? You know? This is what happens when you don't go deeper. Whether it's weight loss or building your business or, you know,
Relationships.
Building a beautiful relationship. If you don't go deeper and deeper and deeper and look at the wound that got you into the pickle that you have at the beginning, whether that was that your business was a mess or that your body physically was a mess or, you know, inside or whatever. If you don't go to that wound that got you there, you're going to keep on putting Band-Aids to something that needs a deeper cleaning.
Yeah. And I think, again, it always comes back to what you're trying to achieve and what do you need to put in place in your life to be able to achieve that. So, for example, if you're trying to be a world-class bodybuilder, right? You really have to be super strict in your plan. You have to be, you know, focused on what your intake is in terms of food, and you really have to be, you know, meticulous about what you do. If you're trying to achieve an overall general healthy lifestyle, okay, that's a different story because, you know, it's a long-term goal. Well, actually, no, it can be a short-term goal as well. But I mean, it's something that you want to build over a time and make a habit. So you're trying to get rid of old habits and then build new habits, right? There are all these like studies about habits and how humans are creatures of habits and stuff like that. But like as an example for me, like I said, I wanted to have at the start of this podcast, I said I'd entered myself into a triathlon, and that being my end goal. My end goal is not to win the triathlon; it's just to be able to do it and then see where I go from there. Huh?
Without dying.
Without
finishing it without dying.
Finishing it without dying. Yeah, exactly. And so I started this journey, and okay, so yesterday I had this weekend I had a bit of a slip back, and I was like, okay, you know what, screw it. But having these last 2 days have made me think, what am I doing? Because for the last 2 months I've been on a health streak, you know, and all of a sudden, these last 2 days have made me feel really guilty about things. And so that habit of me, by the way, I went through this phase when I was just eating junk food for like every day. Like it was like really bad. And I put on a lot of weight and I was just like, I got myself out of that. And now having had the last 2 days, I'm just like, okay, this doesn't feel right. I need to get back into the habit of doing some exercise on a daily basis, blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of an act of self-sabotage. I guess the point I'm trying to make is it depends on the goal that you're trying to achieve. Sometimes whenever I'm coaching, you'll have somebody that has a bad day, but they know that the ultimate goal is X. And so going off track slightly sometimes is not a bad thing. And we all have our bad days. We come back onto the track that we're trying to be on.
Yes. Okay, I love this.
It's trying not to just like get sucked into derailing yourself, because if you continue to derail yourself, then you're genuinely seeking to sabotage what you're trying to achieve. And that's where you need to have like checks and balances in place, you know, and just remind yourself, okay, blah blah blah.
Okay, so this is something that this is a concept that I'm borrowing from the relational coaching, relational therapy, like couples therapy world, but that is very fitting in this here. So the Gottman Institute, which is an institute that created a whole therapy, couples therapy system model. John Gottman and his wife had been studying couples since forever. Like they have done the longest longitudinal study on couples where they took them from basically beginning of dating to now, and they have been studying the interactions and everything. And they have got a lot of information about that they use to teach couples how to create beautiful marriages, basically, right? Beautiful partnerships. And one of the things that they talk about a lot, Julie and John, is that they say, when it comes to relationships, the issue is not a fight. You want fights or altercations that are safe are good because they show passion. They show that there's still like a spark there. Obviously not daily, but fights are not bad. The problem is a recovery. How long does it take you from the fight to the recovery, and how hard is the recovery? Like, are you recovering like, yeah, fine, we're fine, okay, fine? Or are you really recovering and integrating the lesson learned and, moving on together lovingly? This is really important. And why am I borrowing this to our relationship to self? Is because it's the same thing. So when you
makes a lot of sense.
When you discover that you have been playing against yourself, that you have been self-sabotaging, that you have been doing something that is destructive for either your body, your mind, your goals, your emotions, your well-being, the thing is, how quickly can we recover? And when I say recover, I don't mean, oh my God, I'm never going to do this again. Now I'm going to be vegan and I'm gonna, like saying, I'm never going to touch junk food again. I'm going to be so healthy, blah, blah, blah. I'm saying, oh shit, I did these things. For the last 2 days, I've been doing this thing and this, I deserve better. Oh, okay, so how can I recover? Okay, commitment 1, I'm going to do this, and then I'm not going to do that, and then I'm going to change this, and then I'm going to try again.
I tell you what I do. I after the 2 days, I'm like, okay, so where am I? I'm here. What was I trying to achieve? What was my initial goal? And at the start of this whole process, it was to achieve X. Okay, I'm now off target, and okay, I've had these 2 days, and in order for me to get back on track, I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And it's always going back to reminding yourself of why you started something, or reminding yourself of the initial thing that made you, the spark.
Exactly. It's the same thing that you do with in a relationship.
Instigated your journey,
If you have a fight with your partner, with your friend, with your mother, with whomever, well, with your mother, please just don't. There's no spark. It's the fact that she mothered you. But if you have a fall off with a friend or something, it's remembering what brought us together originally. Oh, this project, this partnership, this family, this whatever. Okay, so how can we recover? And when it comes to recovery from self-sabotage, this is super important. It's not just making a promise to do better. It's also looking into why did it happen, and then nursing that part of you. Imagine that whenever you self-sabotage, it's like you have a wound that is a deep wound that is resurfacing. It's becoming open. Yeah, becoming open again. So instead of just saying, oh, this was my target and I mess up like this, let me just go back to it. It's also saying, why? Asking yourself, why did I feel the need to put myself in a situation? Why did I feel that it was okay to betray myself? Oh, maybe I'm feeling scared. Maybe I'm feeling lonely. Maybe this is happening. Maybe I'm stressed. Maybe I'm undernourished. Maybe I'm not resting enough. What's happening that is moving me
to this,
from my aligned, focused vision to a place where I actually put myself and my goals at jeopardy, And I think that this is beautiful. For example, for me, I call it self-destruction buttons. So I always say to my clients, imagine that you're an iPhone and you have your factory setting. Those self-destruction buttons, those ways that we sabotage ourselves that we have always done, come ingrained with our childhood woundings, with the way we were raised, with our media, with culture and everything. So once you recognize those self-destruction buttons and you know that, the moment that you're going to start pressing them, or once you start pressing them, you can stop yourself and be like, why am I doing this? For example, for me, one of my self-destruction buttons is around motherhood. I began to be very controlling and I began to question myself as a mother a lot because I don't feel good enough or whatever. So that's a huge self-destruction button that I have. Once I recognize it, halas, the moment that I start to question myself as a mother, I'm like, oh, something is happening. And it tends to be that I haven't rested enough or that I haven't taken enough time to recover from from life. And so I start to destroy that way. Another one that I have, and then I think a lot of people resonate with, is emotional eating. If I start to crave and engage in emotional eating, that's one of my self-destruction buttons. I started as a child when my parents were getting a divorce. I will hide myself in the pantry and eat saltine crackers with margarine for hours hours.
Can I confess?
Yeah.
Yesterday, I've been really bad this weekend.
I don't want to use the words bad because you're not a puppy. You're not a puppy.
Sure.
Bad boy. No, I'm not gonna hit you with a newspaper.
We tend to go back to training dogs. Okay.
I have been self-sabotaging a lot this weekend.
I have been self-sabotaging a lot. Yeah. So
okay.
I've had McDonald's twice. Don't know why, but I don't know. It just felt good at the time. I've had, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 pizzas. Seriously.
What pizza?
I've had a
Papa
burrito.
John's?
Yeah, it was Papa John's. Doesn't matter what it is, but anyway.
No, I like Papa John's. Like I don't eat
Yeah,
that,
it's
but
Papa John's.
that
No,
would be
there were 3 small pizzas, but the point is, okay, I had a burrito.
burritos are nice.
Yeah, I had Johnny Rockets.
Which one is that?
I don't know. They do burgers and stuff. Anyway, and
Okay, so you have
yesterday I had a whole bag of Haribo marshmallows to myself.
Did you buy them or were they in your house?
No, I bought them. I went out intentionally to buy them, and I think I had like 5 or 6 cans of Coke. The point is, I was like, woo!
On a self-sabotaging.
Yeah, I was like, woo! And then I put on this T-shirt this morning, and I thought, whoops, I'm not ready to wear this T-shirt. It's a bit tight around the waist, but the top half is still intact. You know, it's still like, it shows the efforts of my labor, but the bottom half is kind of gone like, okay, you know. And anyway, so I just reminded myself, okay, this I was trying to achieve something. I want a healthy lifestyle. I haven't cycled. I haven't done any running. I haven't done any high intensity training. I didn't swim yesterday, and you didn't message me to say why you're not coming to swim, as an example. You might have been busy, but the point is, I've done nothing, and I just, it was a kind of a wake up call.
So here the thing is, how fast can we recover from a self-sabotage?
Tomorrow.
I don't know how you like self-sabotage storm.
Yeah.
How fast do you recover, and how lovingly do you recover? Because this is the other thing. It's not just about you promising that you're not going to do it again, or you making sure that you're going to have 10,000 things that you need to do to recover. It's also about loving that inner child inside of you that thinks that self-sabotage is safety. That part of you that thinks that your goals are too big or too scary and prefers for you not to achieve them by self-sabotaging, you know? Like for me, whenever I start doing emotional eating, the first thing that I do is like, I go to look at my, like that 5-year-old me inside of me. And I'm like, Anai, what's going on? Where are you? And if you're in a partnership and your self-destruction button is about either questioning your partner's love or questioning your worthiness of the relationship or just poking at the relationship, it's also looking to that. Like, why am I doing this?
That's emotional eating. I do the same.
So for me, when I was in my marriage, for many times, the first thing that I would do when I felt insecure was that I start poking at my marriage, either poking at it, like creating fights that were not supposed to be there, or telling myself, he's gonna leave me, I'm gaining weight, why would he want to be with me? And once you recognize that self-destruction button and you take it out and you're like, this has been a coping mechanism that has served me for decades, that has helped me survive and get here. Thank you for helping me. I don't need you anymore. Let me be loving to myself. There's a huge shift. And then now, for example, and fun story, the self-destruction buttons that we tend to have around our romantic relationships, you might even migrate into friendships. So I would question myself and my worthiness in certain friendships because it's my self-destruction button, right? So, oh my God, I'm not good enough of a friend. I need to do more, blah, blah, blah. Now, when that starts to get triggered, and please do know that I have done shit hours of, therapy, and I have invested a lot in my well-being. It's not like I woke up illuminated. I'm not the Buddha, okay? So,
okay. Thank you for sharing that. You're not.
No, it's true. Like,
so what? I've been here for the last, I don't know, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, thinking you were the Buddha.
No, but
you lied to me.
I get people that say, because you get it so clear. Yeah, but I have done a lot of work to get here.
You have invested. You have invested a lot.
It's not like I woke up like this. Anyway, so.
It would be nice if you
now
could do
that would happen.
It doesn't work that way.
So now that I know my self-destruction buttons, what happens is that I have the conscious to be like, I'm doing that thing. And for example, for me, the other thing, because remember, I have arthritis in my joints and I have a couple of autoimmune conditions. So whenever I feel unworthy, I say, I need to do a detox because my joints and everything. Bullshit. In those moments, what I need to tell myself is, you're scared. You feel unworthy. Okay. Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. You're worthy. You belong. You don't need to self-sabotage. You don't need to attack yourself. Just chill here. And that is like, imagine a big wave in the ocean. It's like you have to brace yourself, but then you let go and you let the wave move you. And then it brings you back to shore, which is home, which is you, which is worthiness, right? So this is all to say, to remember that the most important relationship that you will ever cultivate is a relationship with yourself. And because of all the conditioning and the woundings and all our story, it won't be an easy peasy one. It will be rocky. There will be moments where you're going to eat McDonald's and then you're going to regret it. There will be moments where you might sleep with a guy and you later regret it, or you might be a dick to someone and later regret it. Depending on your self-sabotage button, you do the thing. You will drink more, you will snort more, you will smoke more, you will do, like, I don't know, depend. You will spend more money because some people's self-sabotage is around money. Yeah. And then you are going to regret it. Know that we all do the thing. The most important thing here is to recover and to invest actively on it.
And it takes time. I mean, and it's not like you're going to click your fingers and be like,
that would be lovely too.
And I'm back, you know? Yeah. Anyway, but it's not that easy, and it will take time. Like, and for me, for example, I'm going to take time to get back onto track to where I was. It might take a day, it might take a week, but I'm actively making a conscious effort to return back, and that is my recovery period. It's like, okay, rather than go back to training 3 times a day, I'm going to go back to training 1 time a day, and then I'm going to gradually get back up to it, for example.
And control your inner chatter, and don't make sure that what you're telling yourself is not because you're a loser, but to say no, I made a mistake and I'm back on track and I love myself.
Yeah, or it might be just, okay, tomorrow I normally train at 7 a.m. in the morning. Okay, I'm not going to train tomorrow at 7 a.m., but I'm going to wake up at 6:30, you know? And it's just making those, it's trying to get your body back or your mind into that habit of doing things as you were before. Yeah. And that is your recovery mechanism. And it might be, again, like with friendships or with friends, you need to take some time to yourself to, I would say you need to take some time to yourself to heal the wound. Yeah. Yeah. To then be able to carry on. Yeah, as normal.
And also, it will happen again, and we will recover again.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And exactly. And so for me, imagine that you break your leg, right? If you break your leg and they take the cast off tomorrow, let's say you broke your leg and you took 5 days without, 5 weeks without using your leg because you have a cast, right? And then eventually they take it off. It's not like you go from training to 5 weeks with a cast to training normally again. You take a little bit of time to get back to it. It's the same thing. It's just an emotional wound instead of a physical one.
I ruptured my cruciate ligaments, and that took me, in order for me to get back into what I was doing before I ruptured my cruciate ligament, it was a minimum 9-month process. Now, and a lot of people have sports injuries and stuff like that. That is a very mentally draining and mentally challenging time, is to say, I was at the top of my game, and then I got this injury, and then I need at least 9 to 12 months to recover to be able to get back to a point when I can start to be at the top of my game again, which you're not back at the top of your game, and it takes a lot of effort and investment of time and dedication and mental strength and all that kind of stuff to stay focused, to be able to take that 1 year out or however long it takes you to recover, to then get back to where you were.
It's the same thing with your emotions, right? It's the same thing. You need to, especially wounds that you carry since childhood, it's going to take time for you to heal them, you know? I mean, I haven't trained in a month and a half, a month? Okay, in a month.
Yeah, it's about a month.
Because I've been sick and stuff, and I'm dying to go back. But I know that I'm not going to go back.
At the same...
I'm going to go back, and I'm going to be back to lifting, you know, doing my PBs and stuff. I'm going to go back and I'm going to be shit and I'm going to be sore for like 2 weeks. And then maybe, inshallah, slowly in the next 4 to 6 months, I will be back to where I was before.
It's managing your expectations, though. You're not expecting to go back to the peak. Yeah.
And bringing love, you know that self-sabotage is just another stone on the journey, and that you are going to overcome it. But if you are being rude to yourself, if you are being mean, if you are attacking yourself, you're going to carry on doing it, because there's a part of you that says, well, what's the point if you're still a fucking whatever. So the recovery is important. And remember that through self-sabotage, through gains, through failure, through anything, you are always worthy of love, investment, respect, connection.
And talk to people. you know, sound your thoughts of other people, you know, like for example, before any of these podcasts, I have a 10-minute free session with Anahi. She doesn't really realize it. Maybe she doesn't. She's too clever for me, but we have these kind of 10-minute discussions, and I get her opinions on stuff just to see whether my thought trail is going in the right direction. Or sometimes she'll say something to me which I'd be like, oh, I didn't think of it this way, and I start to think, and I use all these little bits to sort of heal myself, and I start moving forward. So, but it's important to talk to a friend, somebody that's impartial, somebody who has a totally different opinion to you as well, because you want to just make sure that you're sane and not everybody thinks the same way as you.
And you and I are very different. That's like we're we're radically different.
Yeah.
And yet we match in many ways. Which is why I also sound things to you.
Yeah.
And to me, your opinion is really
relevant. Talking is really important, you know,
yes.
In order for you to move on and to...
Processing.
And to just reevaluate, get feedback, and in anything, actually, even in your career. You know, every now and then, I think I'm going in one direction and perfect, I'm going in the right direction. And then I have like a really bad week or a really bad 6 months. I think, okay, I need to talk to somebody to figure out. And that's why you have career advisors. That's why you have
coaches, business coaches,
mentors, you know. And these kind of positions are very important because you can just have an honest chat with them and get their opinion, totally impartial. They don't have anything, they don't want anything from you. They just want to talk. And you can kind of take that feedback and process it. And then you can realize if you're in the right track or if you're not on the right track. And these kind of things are important. So don't forget to talk to people, somebody you trust. And get their thoughts on stuff.
Or if you are a millennial woman and you want to talk to me, I'm here for you.
Or if you're a millennial woman and you want to talk to me.
And you want to talk to Hatz, remember, good hugs, smells nice. What's the other one? Likes grooming and can sing Spice Girl songs. And Christina Aguilera.
I'm not sure about the Spice Girl song. I don't really tell everybody that. That's anyway, I love my sisters and girl power.
Okay, so guys, this is our...
Was it girl power like this? I can't remember. Anyway, whatever. Girl power.
Yeah, I think this is Black Lives Matter. This is girl power. But by now, I'm a little bit confused about what you were trying to achieve there. So I'm just going to move on.
Okay, moving on.
So guys, this is episode 9 of Gen 80 Talks, where we talk about worthiness, self-sabotage, self-destruction, and how do we recover. The next episode is going to be a little bit more informal. We're just going to be talking about the experience of doing this podcast. And we will be carrying on. Just a different format, and we're not going to be doing an episode every week live because it's a lot of work for us, but we do want you and we do want your ideas. So remember, you can send us an email to podcast@theselfworthcoach.online with whatever you want to say, and you can hit us up in Instagram, Facebook, or all the social media platforms where we are. And know that from now on, you're going to have one episode one week and one live the other week so that we can carry on with the conversation because we want to hear from you. We want you to tell us if this is helping you and how are you putting these lessons in practice.
And I have had a few messages from a few people privately to my Instagram account saying, I'm watching your podcast. It's really, it resonates a lot with what I'm going through and stuff like that. And I think it's nice to know that even if we can reach one person and that they sort of actually invest the time to listen to what we're saying, it could help somebody through a difficult period, or it can help them help somebody going through a difficult period. So please, I mean, if you don't want to comment, let's say, or in public, just send us a direct message. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you'd like us to continue. Let us know if you have anything specific you'd like us to talk about. Because obviously we're welcome to ideas
and questions. If you have any questions for us, and if you have any people that you would like us to talk to, also that works really well because then we can basically interview others.
Start inviting guests.
So, thank you so much, everyone. It has been a pleasure.
It's not over yet. We still got one more.
Yeah, but we're wrapping up for today.
It's been a pleasure for today.
It has been a pleasure for today.
Great. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.